Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are building the G1 Megatron Action Edition from Blokees. As you all know, Transformers happen to be my favorite, so there's a lot of Transformers here, and we have a lot more in the future. But today we're doing the Megatron. Now, to be honest, when I first saw this, the box of this Megatron, I wasn't impressed by it. I thought it looked kind of weird. Didn't look all that great to me, but I decided to just go ahead and give it a try since I already did the G1 Optimus Prime one from Blokees, and that was great. I love that one. So that's why I decided to go with this one to try to see what this is like. Now, to be honest, this was kind of tough actually. It's a lot more difficult to build than the G1 Optimus Prime. The Optimus Prime one was pretty easy to build, but this Megatron one was really tough. And I think the Optimus Prime one was the first one that they brought out, and this is like the second one, and I don't understand how the second one is so much more difficult than the first one. I mean, even this face plate here is so difficult putting it together. It just wouldn't attach. I edited a lot of this. I spent a lot of time trying to put this face in there because it wouldn't hold very well. Still jutting out a little bit. So I must have edited out about 5 or 10 minutes worth of this, me trying to put the face in. I don't see how you can change the face once it's in there. It's kind of difficult trying to switch the expressions because they come out with 3 different expressions. I just picked the most, the ones that I'm gonna use the most, the ones that I like, and stick with it. I'm not gonna change the face. It's way too difficult to take it apart and put it back together again. I don't understand why they made it so difficult. Every part here are so tight, they don't fit very well, so you have to really squeeze. Like, look at that, I have to really squeeze on it, and I was worried that I might break it if I squeeze it too hard. But yeah, it was tough. See, I edited out a lot of it, me trying to force it in and squeeze it in there. Not sure why they made it so tight and so difficult to assemble. I also have the Soundwave Action Edition, so we'll see if that's gotten any better. I'll have to take a look at that later. But yeah, I struggle a lot with the head and certain other parts, but mostly with the head here. And this part was also kind of strange. I had to edit some of it out because I couldn't figure out how to put it together. So you're just supposed to just put it on top and then snap it right down, press it down, and it'll snap right in, just like that. But it still doesn't line up very well. Yeah, I had to go back and try to squeeze it and push it in there to make it line up. And I edit most of it out. This also was kind of difficult. it was in there, but it wasn't really in there. So you can see, I thought it was in, but then once I push it in, it snapped in like twice, so it wasn't completely in. So make sure when you build this, it goes all the way in. Like the top part is flush, that red part's showing. Gotta really hear that snap. Parts for the Megatron parts are way too tight. I think maybe they had some manufacturing or issues or something, or maybe the paint was too thick. Not sure. But yeah, it was really, really tight. I don't see how little children can build this. They're gonna need some help. Even as a grown adult, I had a hard time doing it. I mean, the instructions were pretty good. They're always been pretty good. They're clear. Kind of shows you where everything is. It's just the actual assembly itself that's difficult. Trying to push all the parts in there, make it fit and lined up. Even that was difficult to snap together. course, like I mentioned before, you always want to move those parts and loosen it up a bit before you actually put it all together and build it, because it'll be more difficult to move it and flex it. So you want to flex it ahead of time, loosen up the parts before it's finished building it. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the Optimus Prime one, for some reason I feel like the paint is a lot better. Like for example, the silvery part on Optimus Prime looked silver, looks kind of bright silver, but with Megatron he's pretty much mostly silver, but yet he doesn't have that kind of reflective silverness that Optimus Prime had, and that was a nice silver paint, but Megatron doesn't have that nice silver paint. So I think they could have elevated the figure a bit more by using that paint that they use on Optimus Prime. And also with the other paint, it just doesn't seem to have the same quality as the Optimus Prime one. I mean, that's why I fell in love with the Optimus Prime figure, because the paint quality, the build, everything was a lot better than this Megatron one. As you can see, that part, if you know the cartoon, is silvery. It's supposed to be a shiny silver, but it's not as shiny, or at least it's not as shiny as the Optimus Prime one. Now this part was extremely small. I had a hard time trying to put it in there. I had to use tweezers. And I was lucky to get it in there in the first try, so that was lucky of me. Kind of magnetically snapped in there. And if the sound of my voice here sounds a little different from the other videos, it's because I'm using a different mic here. I'm using a headphone mic instead of a handheld mic. So I want to see if the sound's any better or it's easier, because this is actually easier for me to work with than having to hold that mic. This one I just put on the headphones, and it's less delay than the other one. The other one had a lot of delay, so I had an issue with that, trying to speak and not really hearing exactly what I'm saying. It's kind of a delay, but this one has very little delay. There's a little bit, but not that much of a delay. But yeah, we'll see if this is any good. If you don't really like the sound of it, then let me know. I can change it back, but for now, this is working for me. As you can see, there are a lot of parts that don't seem to like fit in as well. That's why I keep pressing on it, because it just doesn't look like it's fitting in there. It's not flush. To edit that out because I got confused on how to put this together. On the picture it kind of looks a little strange because it's an odd piece. The way it's shaped kind of makes it look confusing. This kind of reminds me of a guillotine. Again, it doesn't feel like it fit in there properly. I had to keep squeezing it, but it's in there. So this part here was a little tricky. That's the front part, that's the back part. But then that little dots that you see there should be in the back. And it should be facing outward. See that those dots there on top? And so that goes on the back. And I think the holes actually lined up anyway. The bigger holes are on the back and the smaller holes are in the front. So I don't think you could make a mistake putting it in there. It took me a while to figure it out. There's a lot of odd pieces for Megatron. So his character's a little bit unusually shaped. So there are a lot of odd pieces. Sometimes I don't know which one goes with which. Like this one, I picked up the wrong one. So that's to hold the barrel in the back. Putting it in the wrong way here. It should be like a shark fin. So a lot of these weapons, when you put those in there, it's has to be shaped as a shark fin. So that's the correct way. Now, Megatron himself was actually not a long build. It was kind of a quick build, except for the parts where I struggled. That took a long time. That's what took a lot of time, was was trying to fit all the parts in there. But overall, it was kind of a short build, and it was mostly the accessories and weapons and all of that stuff. The throne and the base, that all took more time. That took the majority of this video, or half of the video. So maybe like an hour of this was from building, the other hour is from the accessories and the base and the throne and whatnot. I mean, the throne wasn't that difficult to build, but yeah, the base took some time. This part was a little confusing for me. I kept trying to put it that way, but it should be it should be horizontal or perpendicular. Yeah, like that. And I edited some of that out because it all fell out of my hands and fell to the floor. Working on editing down these things a little bit more, so you don't have to look through the whole thing. And also there, if you notice, there's a little tab, two little tabs at the bottom of that middle piece. I almost cut those out, so don't cut them out. They're there for a reason. They're there to stop the skirt part from going back. And it's weird that sometimes it snaps in, sometimes it doesn't. Because the first one snapped in, the second one didn't snap in, but it's in there. But yeah, don't cut out that little small part at the bottom. That little piece almost looks like it's metallic, but it's not. It's plastic. It's actually a pretty good design. But it does fall off when you move the figure around a bit. When you're turning the waist, when you're turning Megatron around, it'll hit one of these, and sometimes it'll fall off. So it's not secured, like completely secured. It just holds it in there and snaps it in. But it can come out easily. That seems to be the problems with the regular Gunpla too. The Bandai stuff. The skirt on the sides tend to come off very easily. I mean, they hold pretty well. It's just that when you hit it too hard, it'll pop out. Or if you accidentally hit it. See, once again, you got those two little tabs at the bottom. You don't want to cut those out. Make sure you leave them. That one pops in, and that one pops in, and it stops it as you're switching, as you're moving it. It stops it from going too far. That's what the tabs are for. I don't remember if they actually set that on the manual. They might have, I don't remember. that piece wasn't too difficult. Crotch part. Finger parts, once we get to that part, I'm gonna have to really explain that. It's very, very difficult, and that's what I mean when I say that this model is a lot more difficult than the Optimus Prime one. I mean, it's great that you have moving fingers. You can adjust it and make it do whatever you want, but at the same time it was very difficult trying to get it all working and assembling it. So even that piece is silvery, but it's not as silvery as the Optimus Prime one. And I wish they would use the same paint that they did with Optimus Prime. The same silver paint, I mean. That was a little complicated. Took me a while to figure it out. But yeah, it goes right in that slot there, and you can move it up and down. When you actually assemble the arm, it should move. Once again, it looks like it's in there, but at the same time it doesn't look like it fits in very well. The seam line doesn't seem to match up. There's still a gap there, so that's why I keep trying to push it together. Sometimes I worry I might actually break it. But if it doesn't line up properly, it doesn't fit in properly, then the rest of it won't fit in properly. Like if it wasn't tightly together on the inside part, then the outside part wouldn't be able to fit nicely together. That's the problem we have. That's why I have to make sure the seam line kind of fits in there nice and tight and together. This piece here was confusing. Wasn't sure how to place it. Just going by the manual, make sure it kind of looks like what's on the manual. As you can see, it fits in nicely there. These come with two different plates, so this one doesn't have a hole in it and the other one has a hole in it, so you can interchange it. If you want to put something on the arm, you can with the ones with the hole, which I should have done to begin with. Yeah, I just wanted to show you how that fits in there. I mean, eventually you're gonna need to open up that hole anyway, which I'm doing here. But then I put the other one back in. I had to come back later and redo it, so I didn't put it all the way in. I just wanted to show you. I didn't want to have a hard time removing it like now. Should have just left that in there. Now these fingers, they are a pain in the butt. They're really a pain. I mean, they're easy to clip out of the runners and then put them together in here, but it wasn't easy for it to bend. So the bending of the fingers wasn't easy. I had to remove all the fingers. See, once I put it in there, then I had to later remove it. I edited a lot of it out. Me trying to flex these fingers, it just wouldn't move. So you see, you have to take them apart and then flex it out. It took a while. I actually broke one of the pieces. It came out of the knuckles, but then I was able to put it back in, so I guess it wasn't broken. And the way these fingers work is that the flat part is the part that bends downward. So the flat part should be on the bottom and where it bends, and then the part where there's stuff sticking out, that's the part that should be on top. As you can see here, the flat part is the part that bends, so you want to bend downward. And I made a mistake on one of the pieces where I kept trying to bend it the other way, and that's when I broke it. And you do have to bend these because they're right out of the runners, they're extremely tough and tight, so they don't bend at all. That's why I keep having to flex these, making sure you can actually bend them once I install them. I don't want to have to do it later. I mean, it's good flexibility, I like it, but it was way too difficult. As you can see here, I'm bending it the wrong way here. See, this is when I broke it because I bent it the wrong way. Should be the opposite way. I'm trying way too hard. Put a lot of scratches in this finger trying to bend it. It wouldn't bend because I'm bending it the wrong way. As you can see, I'm scratching it, destroying it. I finally figured it out. Here we go. That's how you bend it. Flat part on the bottom, and that's the part that broke off, but it still works, so it didn't completely break. Bend it enough that now it bends easily, somewhat. Hey, you really need to do this before you assemble it. Kind of reminds me of the Terminator T800. The fingers, the thumb's the same. You have to try to bend it. Just make sure you're bending it the correct way, not the opposite way. I mean, that's actually a nice touch for them, for Blokees, to do that with the fingers. Yeah, I appreciate it. I just need to make it a little bit easier. left arm. Before that was the right arm. And if you guys aren't aware, I do make timestamps for these. So pretty much almost all my videos have timestamps, especially the full build ones. So you could always skip to it if you just need to see a certain part of the build. Sometimes I separate them by, you know, left and right arm, left and right leg, but sometimes I don't. So, but I usually go by the manual. So if you look at the instruction manual, I usually go by that, and you'll see which part I'm at. Even though I already built one, I'm still confused with the second part here, the second one, the left arm, even though I already built the right arm. Yeah, how quickly I forget. I'm not always that smart. Thinking about maybe changing the way I edit some of these videos. Like maybe if I already did the right hand or the right arm, and once I start doing the other side, the left, I'll just maybe fast forward through it since you've already seen it. But then sometimes it's completely different on the manual. Like you have to put certain parts in the opposite way that you put in for the right arm, the left arm. They're different. They have to be turned the other way. So that's why I'm kind of conflicted. Maybe I shouldn't. Because if people are following along, they only see the right arm, and then the left arm is completely different, a little bit different. It's like you have to put it in the opposite way. That'll confuse them. They'll make a mistake and put it the wrong way. Then they have to remove it and redo it. So I don't want that to happen. So I guess maybe I'll just keep it just in case. But you could always fast forward through it or go to the timestamp if you already know, or if you don't want to watch it. A lot of these Blokees models, they'll tell you that you don't need nippers or cutters, I kept using it. I was still using it with this model because I never trusted to break easily. But then by the end of this model, I actually figured out that it was actually pretty easy to snap it off. The pieces do come off easily. And sometimes there's a little remains on it, and you can just use your nippers to cut that out. It actually breaks a lot cleaner than using the nippers. When you're cutting it with the nippers, you're taking a piece of the paint with you. But when you snap it off, it's a lot cleaner sometimes. And again, with these fingers, they are a pain. So I actually already bent the fingers. I just edit them out. So you might want to do that before you put these fingers on. Bent them ahead of time because it took me so long to bend it in the first hand of fingers, set of fingers. I don't have to have you guys to go through all that again, watching me bend it. The second one worked a lot better. It's still a little bit stiff. And when you put the thumb in, make sure you put it in like the way I did it. Don't put it in from the side, put it in from the palm side. Push it in from the palm side. Spent a little bit too much time looking at that hand. I had to fast forward a little bit here. Couldn't figure out which way it's supposed to go. As you can see, when I pushed it in, the arm part kind of went in a little bit, so you can move it out. So when you bend the arm, it kind of comes out a little bit, then you can push it back in. See, as I'm bending it, the arm moves and it pulls out a little bit. It's hard to explain from watching this video. Can't really see it that well. Okay, so now we're up to the leg, left leg. So I try to do one at a time. So when I cut these pieces out of the runners, I usually go by whatever the manual says here, the instruction manual, go by page or section by section, so I don't have too many pieces out and get confused which one is which. Once again, we want to keep flexing it, bending it, so it's not so stiff once we put it together, when we finish putting it together. Trying to make sure I've got the right side in, because the last time I tried to do something like this, one side wouldn't go in because it had like a stopper or something like that, where it's like, it's instead of circular, it's more hexagonal. So if you try to put pieces like that in there and it doesn't work, it doesn't go in one way, then you might have to flip it around and put it in the other way. This piece always reminds of a steam engine, because it looks like a steam engine. And this part here, that was a little confusing, because I thought you only need to put one side in, and I totally forgot the other side. And this is the feet part. It didn't quite fit in there. Okay, so here I totally forgot to place the other side and close it off. For some reason it just didn't occur to me. Like I said, not that smart. Sometimes I do forget to put pieces in there, and I have to take them apart and put it back in again. And of course, you know, sometimes when you're building these models and you need to stop for a little bit to eat or drink or use the restroom, then when you come back, you totally forgot where you left off, and you forgot to put in a piece or cut a piece off of the runner. Like what I've done before, I totally forgot. In the master grade, I forgot the shoulder piece, probably because I took a break, and then when I came back, I missed that step, and I just kept going all the way until the end. And then I found out, oh, I forgot to put those pieces on. Didn't even cut it out of the runner. And it happens. This is why sometimes when I do these models, I try to finish it in one day, 1 or 2 days, and I don't take a whole lot of breaks, just so that I don't forget anything or do anything that is incorrect. Because once you're on a roll, you're kind of on a roll. And the moment you stop, you kind of stop that momentum. I know a lot of people are this way too, where they start building and they can't stop. They just gotta finish it. And I'm that way too. Once I start and I just want to finish it. The only thing that stops me is because I'm thirsty or hungry or need to use restroom or I need to sleep. Once again, you want to flex it around, move it a bit before you finish the model, making sure everything works. See, this is the piece that I'm talking about, where if it doesn't fit one way, you need to turn around, fit it the other way. Because this one has, this side here has some hexagonal shape to it instead of a round shape. So I had to turn it around, then it fits. There you go. See, so I'm trying to show you that it's got some hexagonal shape to it. It's not round. Not sure why they built it that way, because it really wouldn't matter which way it goes in. It's still the same either way, but for some reason it just wouldn't go in. They built it differently on two sides. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing commentaries now, because I just can't explain all of this stuff with text. Usually I'll just have little text written down in front, but you can't explain some of this stuff just through text. This piece wouldn't fit together so well, so you can see I have to really press it in, and the only way I was able to get it in is to kind of wiggle it in. See, like that, if you wiggle it back and forth, then it goes in. For some reason I just couldn't force it in, I had to wiggle it in. That's the only way to get it to fit in there. It's still not very tight. I have to keep pushing it down. See, it's still loose. Yeah, I had to wiggle it. Once I started wiggling, then it started fitting together. Like I said, this model from Blokees is very tough, very difficult to put together. It doesn't join in very easily. Requires a lot of force, a lot of pressure. I mean, with all my strength, I had a hard time trying to push all the pieces together. It's just way too tight. The way they designed it and built it, some of the pieces are just way too tight to fit together. My fingers are getting a good workout there, starting to hurt a bit. I think the last couple of models that I've been building has been like that, where it's kind of difficult trying to put stuff together. I had to use a lot of my fingers to squeeze them together. I'm thinking about getting a plier with a rubber tip so I could just squeeze the pieces together. But then that might actually break the pieces because you're not aware of how hard you're actually squeezing compared to the piece. Because usually if I use my finger, I can feel if it's about to break or not. But if I use a plier, I wouldn't be able to feel it and I'll just break it. See, this is a silver part, but it's not silver like what I mentioned earlier with Optimus Prime one. Now this piece looks nice though. Now this one kind of looks like the one from Optimus Prime. Nice detailing. They have some detailing underneath the red, so they're kind of just blocking the detailing with that red part. And this was a little confusing sometimes here because I'm not sure how I'm supposed to put them in there, but it looks like you just have to force it in, and like I said before, it's difficult putting these pieces in there. They don't always fit very well. You have to really force it in. Took some effort, like a lot of pressure here. I gave it all the pressure I've got. Finally snapped it in. But I guess it's good that it's a little stiff in there, difficult to put in because it won't come out easily. Especially for parts like this that moves. And you know, there's an easier way to put this piece together, which I didn't notice until later. Instead of trying to put it together like this, you can just close it. Close the hinges down and put that in there and push it in. I'm doing it the hard way here. And like I've mentioned before, it doesn't always fit too well. You have to like wiggle it in. So I'm doing here. Once I wiggle it in, then it's in. I think it's as far in as it'll go, but yeah, I thought I could go in further, but it won't. And I'm not sure why they have this piece where it opens up. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. This is the leg part. Not sure why you need to open it. And I don't remember on the TV show it ever opening. At least I don't recall. See, if you just close it and just do that instead, that would have been much easier than trying to do it when it's out. And it's difficult getting it out. Oh, like I said, I'm not sure why they bother with this. I guess it's the same as with the Gundam models. They kind of have stuff opening and closing, and it doesn't really make any sense, but they just do it. pretty much at almost the halfway point of our video. I just want to thank you if you're still listening and watching this. I don't know if you actually enjoy it. If you do, you can tell me in the comments. If you don't, let me know. But yeah, thank you for sticking around here and listening to me talk and watching me build. This is a little tough. You have to pull the sides out a little bit in order to get it to go in. So it wouldn't go in. It's stuck on the sides. Once I pulled out the side a little bit, I was able to push it in. It's still not very clean. See, it's still sticking out a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know. I pulled it out a little bit more and push it in. There you go. Now it's in. So you have to like really take it out. They could have just made it us have us put those pieces in first before putting the front and back pieces first before putting in the side pieces. That would have been a lot easier. Because once you put in the back piece there, you have to take out the side pieces in order to put the back piece in and then close it up. And this piece was a little confusing for me. I edited some of this out because I wasn't sure which way it's supposed to go in. But yeah, that long piece goes on the bottom. Apologize for it going out of focus all the time. My camera still can't keep up. I think I need to adjust the settings on the camera. I wish there was a setting for just doing foreground, not background. Focus on the foreground. I don't know, my camera can do that. Make sure the red part is on the inside of the leg, not the outside, which you'll see later I made a mistake. I'm glad this is a simple snap in there. Unlike their smaller Blokees, smaller models, the joints are very difficult to put together. You have to really squeeze it in to get it to pop in there. It's so much easier. Okay, now we're gonna do the right leg. Pretty much the same thing as before. As you'll see, I've already forgotten what I did on the other leg. Kinda. And if you don't want to see this other side, you could just jump to the next section. Or just fast forward through here. Yeah, for the other leg, it fits in a little bit differently. So now we're going the opposite of what we're doing before. Kind of a mirrored. Especially with the hinges and whatnot. Once again, I have to make sure I've got the right hole in. the ones with the hexagonal. See, it's hard to tell, but yeah, there's hexagonal. Or maybe, no, this is a piece that without the hexagonal. The other piece had the hexagonal. This piece, I think you could just put them in either way. See, I've already forgotten how to put it together. Took me a while. Because like I said, we're doing the opposite way of how we're doing before. Kinda. Well, no, not really. I'm just... Yeah, I'm just doing like instead of going to the left side, I'm doing the right side. So yeah, we're kind of doing mirrored of what we did on the other leg, on the other foot. So this is why it's important for me to put both sides, both left and right, because things like this happens where you have to do the opposite, mirrored of the other side of what we did on the other leg, the other foot. Again, checking to see to make sure everything works and smooth. We don't have any issues. Okay, so this is the piece with the hexagonal. Like I said, we're doing the opposite of what we did before. Mirrored version. Making sure I've got the right side. See, that's the hexagonal side, that's the regular side. As you can see, well, not really hexagonal, but kind of a square. Yeah, it looks more square than hexagonal. Like I said, not sure why they do it that way, because it wouldn't really matter which way it goes in. And once again, it was very difficult trying to push it together. Had to really squeeze it. You don't want it coming apart once you're finished building it and it's inside the body. Then you have to take everything apart and push it back together. So I try to make it as tight as possible. But a lot of times when I move it a lot, once it's finished, it'll still come apart. The one I did with the flame toys, the Megatron flame toys. Once I started moving the parts around, once it's finished the build has been finished, it kind of came apart a little. You have to like wiggle it in. See, I learned from the other one. Instead of trying to use a lot of force, a lot of energy, just wiggle it in. much easier, quicker. So I hope that helps you with your build. Now that you've learned from my mistakes, just wiggle it in and it'll work. Once again, I'm testing it to see, making sure everything works properly. It bends easily. Loosen it up a bit. There are times when I want to use like WD-40 on it. I'm kidding, of course, but yeah. Sometimes you feel like you want to put WD-40 on it, because some of the joints are really stiff, like those fingers. I honestly thought about doing WD-40 on it, then I figured it's gonna be a mess. I don't want that WD-40 liquid all over the place. Also, you don't know how it's gonna affect the plastic, if it's gonna melt the plastic or what, or discolor it. So you don't want to do that. Just stick with what's approved in modeling, in the modeling community. I don't think WD-40 is approved. That's a really nice detail there on the leg, but then you can't really see it once you put the outer shell on it or over it. So it's kind of a lost detail, but they're really nice. This one's like mirrored, so we're doing the opposite way. Instead of the hole facing the other way, it's facing this way now. Make sure you put it in the right place, the right parts in the right place. Because you can see how hard it is to put it in there. If you made a mistake, you have to pull it out, might break it, then put it back in again, and it might not be as tight, you know, just fall right apart, possibly. And here I've already forgotten what I've learned from the last time. Just put them together, but nope, I'm still doing it the hard way. But at least I'm wiggling it in much easier now. Yeah, so you can see there's some of that popping out on the inside, and you can just close it up. By a lot quicker. I want to take it out again just to make sure it works. So once you put it back together, finalize it, it actually comes out and works. but I never opened it up again, so it wouldn't really matter. Nice design in the front gets closed off. Can't really see it. Yeah, it's too bad. I guess that kind of design is just for us builders to see and know that there's a design back there, but nobody else can see it, only us. This again, I have to pry the sides open a little bit so I can get that piece in there flush. See, no matter how hard I push it, it just wouldn't go in. I have to really open it up, pull out the sides a bit to get it to work. Forgotten which way it's supposed to go. As I've said before, when I saw the picture that's on the box of Megatron in the box, it didn't look so great to me. It looked like the legs were too chunky, and honestly, they are chunky, but they actually look pretty good once it's all assembled and finished. I mean, I have it right here, I'm looking at it, it's all done, and it looks okay. I mean, the legs are still chunky, but and I think the red really does it. The red makes it pop a little bit. The red on the arm and the red on the leg. As you can see, I've got the wrong side, the left and right leg incorrectly placed there. But yeah, I think the red accent on the inside of the leg really makes it pop. And after assembling it, it feels like one of the legs is longer than the other. I'm not sure. I tried to adjust it, but it still looked like one side was longer than the other. Maybe it's just me. So even if you can see it here a little bit. Looks like the right side feels like it's longer than the left side, the left leg. Or our right. Oh, from this perspective, it doesn't look too bad. Looks like they're even. So now I want to flex it around a little bit, move it, just to see the articulation. And I know some of you might like to know about the articulation on these models, so I might be doing that more often with the models that I build, so you can see what it's capable of, how much you can move it. I actually didn't realize I could do that until I actually did it. So this is just by accident. But once you put it up like that, it bends. As you can see, it kind of bends outward. Which I don't particularly like that much when it bends out. I guess you have to do that if you want to have it go all the way out. Stretch out the arms. See, I want to show you how much articulation it has. There you go. See how it bends? The arm bends outward. There's actually more articulation to the arm than what I was doing, because if you remember, it could actually come out a little bit. The red part of the arm, you can pull it out a little bit and have it bend all the way. I didn't do that. I forgot you could pull it out. And the waist, you can't really twist all that well. I mean, I tried doing it later on, twisting the waist, then it hits the skirt on the sides and it popped out the skirts. The legs have good articulation though. You could bend it all the way back. You'll see here, look at that, that's good articulation. Get a lot of movements out of that. The weapons, these were kind of easy. There's a lot of accessories with these, a lot of weapons and accessories which I'll never use. I might pose with them for a bit here and there, but I didn't use any of it for the pictures at the end. I think they would have done fine without all these accessories. You don't really need them. Like this gun, I don't recall Megatron ever using this type of gun, so didn't really need to have it. I mean, he's already got a gun. What do you need this little one for? This one I actually put it the wrong side. I had it upside down. Have to turn it around. I think the only accessories you really need is this mace here. It's kind of ball and chain, because that's in the movie. So this is more accurate, whereas the other stuff like the ray gun and the camera and the little yellow figure, whatever that was, I think that yellow figure was in a movie or something, you know, one of the shows. I don't remember now. I haven't watched that part in a long time. But yeah, make sure when you cut these out, you have it in the right order, the right number. I think it's like 12, 13, 14. Make sure you keep that separate so you don't get it confused which way it goes, because that's how I was able to do this. I was able to keep it together. Number 12, number 13, number 14. Because you might not have it in the right sequence or order, because it's the order that you're supposed to go in. I guess in the grander scale of things, it doesn't really matter. You could put it any way you want, but yeah, I try to keep it to what the book says or what the manual says. These, you have to make sure that that line in the top matches with the other line at the top. And I'll show you later here. I was trying to figure out which way it goes, and once I finally figure it out, then I'll show you. See, that line on the top matches with that other line on the top. That's how you put them together, because it won't fit in any other way, as I've tried. Actually a pretty nice looking piece. And this is probably the only accessories you need out of all those other ones. Little sword here, Energon Sword. I think you might need it. I don't remember him ever using the Energon Sword. But like I said, that mace is probably the only one that I know of that he uses that's most useful. So later on, when you need to put these pieces in the throne, in the storage area of the throne, you have to take out that little tip. You have to pull out the middle part and take out this tip in order for all of it to fit inside that throne storage space. I'll show you later, but I didn't do that though. I didn't bother to take out the tip. I just took out the whole front part. And it didn't fit in the throne, so I just put it aside. I just put the handle in there. Now this is pretty complicated for Canon. It's a lot of steps, a lot of pieces. And it does pull out like that, the front part. This part is a little confusing. Just gotta make sure you got it in the right spot. Make sure that part's pointing downward. And you see the little indentation at the top. So the indentation at the top, and then the goes downward, whereas this one's like the opposite, so you're doing the opposite of what you did on the other side. So one goes down, the other one goes up, kinda, if you know what I'm talking about. Gotta really be careful and make sure you've got the right numbers, matching the numbers on the manual, because it can get very confusing over here. This part was a little confusing. I didn't understand why I had to put it that way, but then I discovered later why. Goes up, the other one goes down, so you want the opposite. So you want both sides, top and bottom part, to have those two dimples showing. Figure this out. I wasn't sure which side was up, which side was down. I guess it doesn't really matter because they're both the same. Doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. They're both the same. They look the same. Now this is a nice touch there, having that lens installed. I always like it when models have lenses like that, clear plastic. Makes it look more realistic. This part here has to match the holes and the top part there, that little dimple at the top. Make sure it matches up, lines up. And don't do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's not a good idea, because I forgot that the lens is there. I could have broken the lens doing that. Would have been better to go the other way. Yeah, because that lens is sticking out a little bit. See, as you can see, it's kind of sticking out a little bit. Kind of broken the lens. Once again, this one's like a shark fin, so you gotta put it in there like shark fins. I couldn't find the holes. Oh, there you go. Did I get it in the wrong spot? No. Oh, yep, there you go. So like a shark fin. So it can only go in one way. Make sure that red part is on top. As you can see, it's on the top portion. And this is the barrel part. The barrel part actually just snaps in. Snaps into those dimples. And what I didn't realize here until later on, after I finished building it, that you don't have to pull this out by hand as I'm doing. I was just using too much effort there trying to pull it out, when in fact you could just pull out the eye scope. Just pull out the back part, the eye scope part, and it'll come apart by itself. That's why that mechanism was there. So when you pull it, it comes apart, and when you push it back in, it collapses. But it doesn't collapse very well, so you have to like push it down a little bit. So pulling it out, it comes out, but pushing it back in, it doesn't quite go in. So just be aware of that. And this Laserbeak comes with two different kind of stands. Decided to go to one without that little attachment on the bottom, but later I changed it because you need it if you wanted to sit on the display or Megatron's arm. So if you want to do that, you might as well just save yourself a step and just put that piece in there instead. One with the attachments on the bottom. Now this neck piece, it's very fragile, kind of pops out easily. It has very limited movements, so you can't really move it around all that much. As you can see, I already popped it out. It's very easy to pop it out. There's not much movement or articulation on that, on the neck. Pretty much that's a little bit here and there, it's a little bit side to side, but mostly up and down. Can't really turn its head left or right. It's a nice piece though. Laserbeak is a nice addition. So it's like Laserbeak and the mace are the only two accessories that I would probably just use the most, or use for displays or whatnot. They didn't really need to use the other stuff. It was kind of unnecessary. That sword was unnecessary. The gun, that little gun was unnecessary. The camera was unnecessary, and the little, what do we call it, that little creature, fire lightning creature It's unnecessary. Now this part was kind of difficult, trying to put him in there. It just wouldn't go in. At least not all the way in. I tried pushing it in, but it didn't work. So I had to like wiggle it in. Once you wiggle it in, it works better. So a lot of times these models, like I said before, if you wiggle it in, it works. Try to force it in, it doesn't work. Don't know why that happens. A lot of this model is just way too tight, the whole Megatron model. See, I just wiggled it in and it works. This one went in a little bit easier because I wiggled it in. Kinda. Yeah, it still took some force. As you can see, my fingers are all kind of red and dimpled from trying to force all of these pieces together. That's as far as it goes here, and then as far as it closes up. It's a nice piece though. We'll see how the sound wave Laserbeak looks when I build that one. See if it's any better than this one. Yeah, really nice looking sound beak. I mean Laserbeak. Yeah, that creme sec reflector. You don't really need those two. I don't know why they bother with that. The throne is okay. You can use that to store stuff, so that's good. Yeah, this piece I don't get. Like, why did they bother to include this guy? Makes no sense. It's not that big of a lore in Transformers. It was probably in 1 or 2 episodes, I think. And reflector is just a camera. It's not really a transformer, or at least not this thing. It's just a camera. So what's he gonna use it for? There's no way for him to hold the camera. I mean, I guess he could hold it, but why does he need to hold a camera? Yeah, I remember Megatron holding the camera a few times here and there. But I think, well, no, I think another character held the camera. Either Soundwave or someone else. I don't remember Megatron ever doing that. Of course, these pieces here are huge. That took up the majority of the box and the packaging, because they are huge. Fairly easy to assemble. Right now I don't think I have any space for that. Where did I put the throne? Oh yeah, I just put it somewhere. Probably not gonna use it that often. I don't have the space for it. It's kinda in storage along with the other accessories. It's nicely built though. I mean, I appreciate Blokees trying to add some stuff to it, make it more interesting, but sometimes you don't really need it because you don't have the space for it. You're not gonna use it if you're just gonna display it once. Because a lot of us, once we display it, that's it. We're not changing it. We don't have time to go back and change it. Well, either that or we're too lazy to go back and change it, like me. Yeah, it's a nice throne though. Now when you're trying to get Megatron to sit on the throne, he doesn't sit very well because of that barrel on the back. That back part gets in the way, so he can't sit like straight. He always has to like comes out a little bit on the throne, so he's kind of halfway sitting on the throne. So this is a nice touch here that you could actually put the scope, the rifle, the cannon, I mean, in the back of the throne here, if you want to. But I just leave it on Megatron because that's the way it's supposed to look. Megatron always has his cannon on him, mostly. Yeah, I'm trying to take it apart so you can see how it comes off, and you can put stuff in there. I mean, there's a lot of space in there. Here, you see, you're supposed to take out that tip. If you take out the tip, then it'll fit. I didn't bother. I didn't know you could do that. I just thought it didn't fit. But yeah, later on I did take out the tip and I was able to put it in there, put everything in there. I'm sure Laserbeak could probably fit in there too if you want. I have to fold up his wings a bit. Now the display base here, it gets a little complicated. I mean, it's a good display base, I really like it. But yeah, some of the components are a bit complicated. They're strong though, so I guess that's why it's a little complicated. It holds pretty well. It looks very premium. It's not like some cheap ones that you get for the Gundam models. So I appreciate that they're giving us some quality stuff and good engineering. But yeah, it gets pretty complicated, as you'll see here. I'm trying to figure out how to put all this together. Took me a while to figure it out. That's why I had to edit them out. So that piece goes in there, but just make sure that that hole is kind of vertical. Because when it's not vertical, see, I had to make adjustments to it. If it's not vertical or somewhat vertical, the other side won't fit in. You can't fit it in there. See, right now it's almost vertical. Then you can fit it in a little bit easier. If it's not vertical, or close to vertical, it won't fit in. I think, was it vertical or horizontal? Yeah, I think maybe it was horizontal. Yeah. See, that's why it's so complicated, this little piece here. And they don't really tell you to put it in horizontally or vertically. It just says to put it in there. But yeah, I think it's horizontal. That's it. So you have to put them in there horizontally, like that. That's somewhat horizontal. See? So that's how you want it. So if it doesn't go in, you gotta switch it around, put it in horizontally instead of vertically. Like I said, it's a little complicated and the manual doesn't really explain that. I have to do it through trial and error. I think the manual does kinda shows it, but not very well when it comes to building this thing. I've got the little nub over there. It holds pretty well. Once you bend it, it holds its shape. That's pretty sturdy. We've got 3 of these pieces that we have to put in there. So I keep putting them in the wrong way. Thought I could put this piece in first, so this one goes vertically, but the center one goes horizontally. I thought I could put this in first and then put this on top of it, but nope, doesn't work. You have to put this piece in first and then put in that little piece. That locks it up, locks it together. Not really sure how that's supposed to fit in, if it should be vertical or horizontal. I just keep twisting it until it goes in. So you might want to try that. Just keep twisting it until it actually goes in. And we got a third one, final little piece to put in there. I didn't put that third piece in there yet. So this piece, was a little weird. I've never seen this before, so I wasn't sure if I had it correctly. So after I put the two of these in there, I went back and I disassembled it and then try to make sure if I've gotten it correctly. And I reversed it and put it back in again. But yeah, they're both the same. Doesn't matter if you put it on the other side or upside down or whatever. It could only go in one way. And it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not, or on the other side. Okay, this one again. Gonna make sure it's correct. This one goes vertically, so only the middle one goes horizontally. The rest goes vertically. So yeah, that little piece needs to go in first. There's no shortcuts. And I believe I put it in the wrong way. There you go. So it should go in the way where the sprockets are. Once again, I can just keep twisting these until it goes in. And that's the piece that attaches the Laserbeak to it. The Laserbeak just goes on top of it, goes in that hole. And that clamp on the right there, what I didn't realize is that you could actually squeeze the sides. Yeah, I'll show you later. See how the Laserbeak goes into that area. I already changed out the legs to the ones where you could actually perch it. It comes out. There's an attachment at the bottom. So it's not the same leg as I had when I first built it. I just didn't bother to show you all that changing. You have to take the whole upper part, half of the upper part out of it, take out the legs and put in the new legs. And here you see, you can, if you just squeeze the sides, okay, how it works. Before I wasn't sure how it works. I thought I built it incorrectly. I took it apart and kind of flipped it around, and then I put it back together, so that's why it kind of looks a little different from before and after. But yeah, it's pretty easy, and it holds pretty well. It's a premium, kind of a premium display base, much better than the Gundam model ones. Okay, here's where I show the replacements. I thought I took out the replacements, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, I guess it's important. That's why I kept it in there. So in order to replace the feet, you have to take out the whole half part of the body. I was trying to take one piece out at a time, but both pieces came out at the same time, so I might as well. Yeah, that much made it much easier. Just took out that piece there. I put in the other piece. Yeah, so if you're planning on perching this Laserbeak on the display on the arm, then you might want to go with this leg here, or this feet. Save you some time. You have to remove it like I did and replace it. I mean, right now I have him on Megatron's arm. So that's why I left the hole open over there instead of putting the one that's closed, because I knew I was gonna do that, so I didn't bother. Then I didn't really think about the cannon, so I had to remove that part. Okay, so I wanted to put the cannon in there, so now I have to remove this part. Really think about it when I was building it. Now there was something similar with Optimus Prime, but I didn't bother trying to take it apart because it wasn't necessary. And also I was afraid I might actually break the piece, because it's a small little fragile piece. If I try to pry it open, it might break that piece, and I'm not really gonna put anything in there, so I didn't bother taking them out. I just left it there. The only accessories that came with the arm on Optimus Prime was a computer. I wasn't gonna use that. I wasn't gonna display that. But this, yeah, you need to display it. Megatron has the gun cannon, and he's got Laserbeak. So might as well just keep the hole there. Use that whole plate. show you different accessories, how it looks. On the 4x speed build, I didn't bother to show this part, just edit this out. So I'm sure people just wanted to see the build. Here, I wanted to show you all the accessories with it. Doesn't look very good. Try to bend it around. Yeah, maybe if I had an action pose it would look better. Right now it just looks like it's frozen in the air. Maybe I should have just edited this part out, but since it's already there, maybe next time I won't show all that stuff, just show you the actual attachments. But you can see the fingers move pretty easily now. It's a nice looking gun, but I'm not gonna use it. It's got a cannon right there. What do you need a gun for? I like that it just slips right in there and it holds in pretty well. So it's not dependent on the fingers. The sword looks pretty good. As you can see, the side skirts keep coming off. Anytime I touch it, it comes off. Keeps flipping up. Always sounds weird when I say side skirts. It's like he's wearing a skirt or something. But all these models pretty much do that. They all have skirts. And this is really unnecessary, but I'm just showing you that it could be done. And once again, I didn't need to pull that. I just need to pull the lens part and it'll come apart by itself. Yeah, I don't remember Megatron ever doing this, so you don't really need that. I would have preferred that they had like one of those clear glass color like they do with the smaller models. That would have looked really nice coming out of the cannon. That it's a huge cannon and having a huge blaster or blasts coming out of it. The skirts out again, as you can see. Okay, well I think that's it. I'm just gonna show you what how it actually looks here. The final product, finishing product here. Looks pretty good. It's nice and sturdy and chunky. Kind of like the Optimus Prime model, except I think it's not as good as the Optimus Prime model. Might be like just a step down from the Optimus Prime model, but still pretty good. I love the red accents. As you can see, it looks pretty good. Some nice pose there. Alright, well, I think that's it. We're done with this. So far, it's a good model. You can pick it up if you want, but like I said, it's difficult to build. But that's it for now. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.